Okay, so we are back with new levels of confidence, boldness 301, good courage 301, new level, new you 301, new year, new you 301. I don't know what we're going to end up calling this. I'm going to let my team figure that out. Hopefully it will get some SEO popping, and hopefully you will share these videos because they are indeed hitting. All right, so just a quick recap. This has been a 3-part series. Day 101 was new levels of confidence, boldness, courageous, yada, yada, yada. The first step is knowing that it's God who created you and God who is calling you. Okay. Step 2, we talked about how to regulate your nervous system. We went over 2 physical, simple things to do. And then we also went over some scriptural things to do, broke the scripture down and applied it. Okay. All right. Step 3, 301. This is for people who are doing something bold, something public facing. Maybe you have a speech coming up. Maybe you have a promotion. Maybe you have an artist talk. Maybe you have a performance. Maybe you have a toast. Maybe you're about to pop the question. It's like whatever you're doing, it's like there's gonna be eyeballs on it, or at least it feels that way. All right. So that is the 301 level. This is for all of you, and I'm talking really fast because I got a limited amount of time. But this is for all of you who have asked for stage coaching, who have asked for my help in hosting events, who just want to be stronger, bigger, better. All right. Okay. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is understand, and we talked about this yesterday too, that it's natural to be afraid. Okay. It is an evolutionary response. And so back in the day, way back in the prehistoric days, you know, we used to live in tribes, right? And you had to be with your tribe in order to fight off animals. So again, I'm talking to melanated people, you know, some of the like big animals that are native to Africa, right? You needed to be together to fight these animals off. You needed to be together to hunt, to harvest, to do all of the things. So getting kicked out of the tribe, that would really cause your death, like for real, right? So on a subconscious level, you always want to do things that are going to please people and are not going to make you stand out and put you at risk of being kicked out, okay? So that fear that you're having, right, as you're being elevated, and you're like, why do I feel this way? Like, this is a good thing. Like, we're talking about positive changes, blessings, opportunities. You might be going like, this inside. Okay, cool. So yesterday we talked about regulating your nervous system. So now that's going to give us to a base level, right? Now today we're going to be very honest and candid with ourselves, and we're going to write down all the things that make us afraid or our biggest insecurities about this thing. So I'm going to just use a personal example. So last month I was preparing for Right About Now's Bars Fest, right? And it is a poetry competition where you go head to head against one poet for 3 different rounds. And after each round, the judges pick who they wanted. So right in front of your face after each round. So if you lose the first 2 rounds, you're going into the 3rd round already knowing it's a wrap. Okay. Now this thing was an opportunity because you guys know Right About Now is one of the biggest poetry platforms in the country. As a performer, I'm always looking for, you know, just new things to do, to explore. And as a businesswoman, I'm always looking to expand my audience and my reach. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then I knew that the next day I was going to be featured at Right About Now. And then that would give me about 30 minutes time to do whatever poetic renderings I wanted. Okay, so at this particular stage of my artistic life, I don't do poetry that often. Like, maybe I can count on one hand how many times I'm doing it a year. I'm not really writing poetry like that, and I'm not, you know, rehearsing it, performing it. I'm not. Like, what has been my bread and butter for the last few years has been stand-up comedy. Hey, you go with whatever doors God opens, right? Your audience will tell you what they like you doing the most. So as a poet, I have always felt a bit insecure because my style is not like, it's just weird. Like, I'm always kind of like in between genres, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but like not one particular thing. I am not a slam poet. So like, I am a poet who, there's spoken word artists, and then there's poets who the written word, that is the thing that is going to like draw you in. Like Nikki Giovanni is a poet, Maya Angelou is a poet. So when we're talking about spoken word artists, you're talking about people who slam. It's a very dramatic, it's like Def Poetry Jam, like that type of vein. All right. So when that poetry started to get very popular in my early 20s, it was like, okay, like this isn't really my thing. And so I started to get pushed out of the poetry scene. And that was actually as a big pain point for me, like artistically. Like, so when I came out 10, 15 years later as an author and had to start doing all these public facing things, I remembered one particular poetry performance in college where it was like everybody was doing these slam big poems, and here I am like reading my kind of like poem that would dance on the page, right? And it's intimate, like it's a quieter type of thing, and it not being received well. And that was like, I didn't perform for a good 10 years after that. Like that was a major pain point and artistic blockage for me in my journey. Now we're talking about an artistic journey. I started writing and performing at 10. So we're talking about a 30-year journey, but there was like a 10-year like, ooh, because of poetry. So fast forward now, I performed in Houston doing poetry. You know, when I came out with my novel and my company in 2014, I used this program called The Artist Way. That's a topic for another day. But that's what helped me to identify my artistic like pain points and blockages and to push through them. Okay. So since 2014, I've been doing very public facing things, and I could do it because I've just had all these different systems. And as I go to new levels, God gives me new mentors, new teachings, new experiences. I continue to grow. All right, cool. So I had got past that. So let's say I moved to Houston in 2017, let's say from 2018 to 2020, I had consistently performed poetry. I had performed poetry with live music. I had kind of like carved out my own thing. People had gotten used to it. But again, whenever there was a slam or anything like that, I never fared well because it's just not my thing. So fast forward to Bars Fest. Now, again, I'm giving you guys this very personal example to talk about this 301 level of writing down what is scaring you. So fast forward to Bars Fest and 2024, December 24. And I know I have all these things stacked against me because it's essentially a slam poetry contest, right? So most likely I'm going to lose. All right. If you know me, I'm a Nigerian New Yorker. I don't like to lose. All right. I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose. I sound like Denzel at the end of Training Day. Like, nigga, I'm leaving here with something. Okay. So this is my attitude, but I'm like, yo, but you're probably going to lose though. And how is that going to look? How is that going to look for your brand? Like, can you face that? Like, can you push through it? Can you believe that you're going to win? Because you got to believe you're going to win in order to do this shit, right? But then we also got to be a buck with ourselves, right? So I was having these different thoughts. Again, I'm giving you a concrete example. So because whatever you're being called to do right now, whatever that thing is, I need you to be that honest with yourself. Like, what is scaring you? Okay, I don't want to lose. Okay, I've gained so much weight. And these people haven't seen me. I haven't been on the poetry scene like that in over a year. Because I had started doing poetry again, like in 23 to promote Banke's Comedy Cabaret. And that was really my only purpose in going back into the poetry world, right? And then I had taken essentially a whole year off away from that scene and gained a lot of weight. So these people who, one, I felt like never truly accepted me, right? Now they're going to see me probably lose, and they're going to see me on stage way chunkier than I have ever been. Okay, cool. Now, once you get to the roots and the heart of what is making you feel insecure, okay, now you're going to come up with your affirmation that is the complete opposite of that, right? So for me at that time, it was, I am ready. For me at that time is, I am a conqueror. For me at that time, it was, I am beautiful. Okay, I am a very honest person. Okay, so yeah, your girl is more here than has ever been here. And I am beautiful. Two things can be true. So once you break down those affirmations, I am ready. What was the second one I said? I am a conqueror. I am beautiful. Then you're going to get butt naked. Now, again, your affirmations are coming as the opposite statement to the deepest fear, insecurity you have about whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Then you're going to come up with a statement that you need to hear. You, for the most part, right now, you may not believe it yet, okay? But a part of you is like, it is true though. And you have to convince yourself now. So now what you're gonna do, and I have about 2 minutes to get into this. And so the time that's really you're gonna need to spend is digging deep, figuring out what's really scaring you, and coming up with that I am statement that speaks to that fear, okay? Because the power of life and death is in our tongue, and we are choosing life. We eat the fruit of our mouth. So we're gonna speak this thing. Now, to make it resonate even deeper, one of the things that I do is I'll write it over and over and over in my journal, like Bart Simpson style when he has to write on the blackboard, okay? I'll write that thing over and over and over. I'll say it throughout the day. When that thought comes up, remember what we did yesterday, like everything that is good, lovely, praiseworthy, meditate on this. So I will be saying this affirmation. And what takes it to an even, and this is again, for everybody who's doing something public facing, you're gonna wanna get butt naked, stand in the mirror, look yourself directly in the eye. Can you sit with your reflection? Can you sit with yourself? Okay? And you are going to say that affirmation over and over and over. I am ready. I am a conqueror. I am beautiful. You're speaking to that inner child that is hurt. You're speaking to all the past. You're speaking to that trigger. You are speaking to your soul, okay? And it's powerful just to stand there. And your brain is going to be going crazy. Your brain is going to be telling you everything that's wrong with you. And you are choosing to look past the flesh and to look into your own soul. And you hold that and you speak that thing. Okay? I literally do this. I literally just did this morning for the new level that God is bringing me right now. Okay? I literally did this when I was preparing for Bars Fest. In that same week, I had a dance performance, and it was my first time choreographing African dance. So I brought in another dancer. It was somebody's surprise party. They're paying us a good amount. It was like all these things. I had performed comedy that week. So I was doing stand-up. I was doing poetry. I was doing dance. I was putting myself out there. So these deepest fears that were coming out, I was honest with myself about them. I made these I am statements. I stared into my own soul, butt naked in the mirror. And then after that, I put on some music. I put on theme songs. I put on the things that speak to the fact that I am Banke Owupetu. I am Banke the author. I have performed across hundreds of stages across the country. I have produced dozens of events. My name is synonymous with excellence, love, and light. Nigga, what? So I put on music that spoke to that. It was some ratchet, it was some it was some gospel, and I danced in the mirror butt naked. And then the ideas for the performance started to come. So fast forward to today. All right, I'm about to go to my day job. And right after, I have a dance performance. I have a proposal to write up for a client. And again, I have these 2 events that I'm doing different promotional tactics. So I'm speaking with my team, which spans from here all the way to Abuja, okay? So it's a lot of moving parts. It's texts and messages throughout the day. The enemy is a liar, but he's been trying to attack my family. So I'm with this sword of the word, okay? This is all what's happening today. So I'm like, dang, I don't know if I want to do the dance performance. Then as I was going through the same process that I just broke down for you about the things, the new levels that God is bringing me, then it was like, oh, because I was like, I don't know what to wear. Then got the Holy Spirit put the outfit together in 5 minutes. And I was reminded as I was dancing butt naked to lift my own spirit. God inhabits your praise. There is power in dance, okay? You need to, I don't care if you got 2 left feet. I don't care how it looks. You're only doing it for you. You are dancing naked in the mirror to your theme songs, that stuff that speaks to who you are, all right? Then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go and do the gig, because those djembe drums, honey, that ancestral power, like I'm dancing my way into victory. And victory looks in many different ways. So yeah, I lost Bars Fest. I did. I lost every round. And I sold my books for $100. And my following grew by like, and I got amazing content. And my fans who showed up for me were like, yo, I needed to see that. And I stayed true to myself. And I dropped scripture in every poem. And I could feel the audience getting what God has sent me there to do. I can't lose. And neither can you. I love you. I hope this was helpful for your process. I do one-on-one coaching, but I just wanted to, like I said, people have been asking me to do this for years, and I was in my head about how to make it formalized and yada, yada, yada. But as I was in the last few months applying these same strategies that I have used for years, I was just reminded of, one, it would be so simple to put this together. Girl, press record on your phone, right? Two, I was reminded that what y'all need to see is in real time somebody applying what they say. Three, I was just like, I'll do it for Bunk Block, my email list and my IG broadcast channel. So that's how you end up watching this, because I think these videos are private. My team is probably going to try to gas me into making it public. I don't think so. I think I'm going to release to y'all first, and then we'll see. All right? I love you. Be encouraged.